Suzanne in Georgia says, my husband, who listens to your show, several years back added to his IRA a small position in an individual company stock. The reason was, quote, because people on Reddit think it will make money, end quote. And she names the stock.
What's the stock?
AMC.
Oh, that was one of those things like GameStop, and there were a few others that people were from message boards on Reddit, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Reddit was a big
We're getting
place
all
where it
into.
spread. And the IRA is held by Schwab, FYI. I told him at the time that a retirement account is no place for stock speculation, and he should sell it and put the money into the target year retirement fund. He's over 40, but his retirement savings are under $25,000. Most of his IRA, I think, is still in the target year retirement fund. Several years later, I've now learned he never got rid of that stock and thinks there's no problem with this. Can you please explain why this is a very, very bad idea? I'm assuming any money it makes gets eaten alive by fees he doesn't even know he's paying.
So no fee issue at all. And the buying and selling of the stock is commission free now. And so there's no pickpocketing going on by Schwab with him owning that individual stock. The reason that you always hear me talk about target retirement fund, target retirement fund, target retirement fund in an IRA or in a 401k at work, that unless you are someone who devotes enormous amounts of time to real research on companies, it's too much risk for you, and your portfolio allocations will likely be out of whack. Charles Schwab himself is a big believer in what he calls core and explore. The idea that most of your money should be in a broad-based thing like, he doesn't say target retirement fund, but I do, where the money is widely diversified over hundreds or thousands of different stocks. And as you age, that more of the money is in things that are less risky than in the short term than stocks. Owning the explore part of what Chuck Schwab talks about is owning individual stocks. So you get the base down, and that most of what you're doing overwhelmingly is broad-based funds. If you want to dabble in individual stocks, that's okay. Would I have done something highly speculative, owning something like AMC? Not my wheelhouse, not my thing. But I don't think this is a disaster that he has that individual stock, as long as most of what he's doing is in the target retirement fund. And when I say most, I'd say at least 80% should be in the core, maybe even higher, and then a small amount dabbling in individual stocks. Okay.
And I made this mistake once. I bought an individual stock and I lost a bunch of money on it, and I learned my lesson.
So what do you do now?
Oh, everything's in funds. So I don't do that.
Well, sometimes you got to be burned, but the problem is, especially if you have something like what they call the meme stocks, and you had a big run up in it, you're like, wow, this is what I should be doing. But when you play individual stocks, there's a lot more risk involved than when you go wide in the market. So there's nothing wrong that you bought an individual stock and lost money.
Oh, no, I think it's a good thing. That's what I'm saying. It was a great lesson for me. So sometimes we have to get burned.
But I'm not even sure it's a lesson. If you were doing the core and you made an oops on an individual stock, I don't see that as necessarily a bad thing.